Hi everybody, this is Josh Culp. We are learning Daf Shvili. We are on Daf Heh, page 5 of Masechet Gittin. If you're looking at your sheets, we're on part 4. It's on the second side of the page. And I wanted to talk about an interesting phenomena that occurs here and elsewhere that I don't really talk a lot about in my commentary, and that is medieval authorities, Rishonim, medieval commentaries, changing the text of the Talmud. It is actually quite a common phenomenon. They make minor emendations in order to make the Talmud make more sense. Particularly Rashi does this. He is, of course, the great commentary. So the text is about the Gemara is trying to correlate a dispute between Rabbi Yochanan and Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi with the same dispute that we have between Rabbah and Rava over why the declaration needs to be made. If you've been learning the Gemara, you should be familiar with this dispute already. The Gemara knows that Rabbi Yochanan and Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi have the same debate as Rabbah and Rava, but we don't know who holds what. Does Rabbi Yochanan agree with Rabbah or with Rava, or does Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi agree with which one does he agree with? Now the Gemara goes on to prove that Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi agrees with Rabbah, that the declaration is made because there are not experts. People aren't experts in the laws of lishma, of writing the get for her sake. It brings a story, and Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi, it's 100% clear what he holds as far as the reason for the declaration. He tells Rabbi Shimon bar Abba that he doesn't need to make the declaration because today we are experts in the laws of for her sake. Okay? That is clear. It's as clear as night and day. One can tell that Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi agrees with Rabbah. Now the Gemara asks a question and uses the word v'tizbara. And that word is our problematic word. V'tizbara is a technical term. Technical terms in the Talmud, and the Babylonian Talmud is full of them, are meant to help us understand what is going on in the argumentation. Are things difficulty? Are things a resolution? Who are we raising difficulty on? What kind of a difficulty are we raising? What's the nature of the statement? Actually, I tell this to my students all the time, if you learn to make the technical terms your friends, they will help you in understanding what's going on in the Gemara, because the Gemara is full of discourse, discussions. The word v'tizbara means that what occurred before doesn't make any sense. It's wrong. Do you really think this? Do you really hold this? What the Gemara should be, if this is the correct technical term, that what we should be saying is, no, maybe Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi does not hold like Rabbah. Maybe Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi does not hold that the reason for the declaration is because of the issue of being experts in the law. But that can't be. We know that Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi holds that, and that's not what the difficulty is. The difficulty that comes next is, does the fact that you hold that the reason for writing the declaration is because they're not experts, is that enough to dispense with it if people are experts? Because we held that Rabbah agrees with Rabbah. Even if people are experts, we still have to worry about the witnesses. Meaning the difficulty of the Gemara has is not really with the issue of who holds what. It's really with Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi's entire ruling. According to what we've been saying, Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi should not have been able to dispense with the declaration unless there were two people who brought the get, which is what ends up happening. Now, the word v'tizbara doesn't make sense here. So in order to fix the problem, Rashi amends the Gemara and says, v'tizbara lo garsinan. We don't read the word v'tizbara. I know a lot of you don't read Rashi. There's no translation of Rashi. And if you're reading a traditional Gemara, it's in Rashi script. But that's what Rashi does over here. Rashi gets rid of the word. He also tries to find a meaning for the word, which is an unusual kind of strained explanation. The Tosfot would also say we get rid of the word. And that happens all the time, quite frankly. Almost, at least once every 2 pages at least, if not more than that, and sometimes many times on a single page, Rashi amends the text of the Gemara. The Gemara is a long, complicated document, and there are a lot of problems with it. I think in this case, what's interesting is probably the word v'tizbara. Either it's just used here so often in these pages that it got put here without the proper meaning, or it's possible the technical terms did not yet have their meanings sharpened right? Having a precise, exact meaning. And Vitizbara, at an earlier stage in the Talmudic development, just meant a sign of a difficulty and not a particular kind of difficulty. But by the time you come to Rashi, it always has one specific meaning. That which you just said doesn't make sense. Okay. So Rashi amends it. Our text, just to finish up here, our text reflects the original text without Rashi's recommendation. That's a bit unusual. Usually our text has been already amended to match Rashi because either later copyists or often the printers figured Rashi was correct. He's, after all, Rashi. And they amended the text to match what Rashi said, which sometimes makes it difficult to figure out what text Rashi is referring to. So it's something interesting to point out and something interesting to pay attention to. As always, I hope you join our live Daf Shvui class, which meets on Sundays at 9:30 a.m. in New York time and East Coast U.S. time.